Hello and welcome to today's Confessions of a Global Changemaker show. I have invited this very special man back to join us because I'm on a mission to follow what this guy is doing next. Mark, welcome back to the Confession show.
Thank you so much for inviting me on again, Sammy. It's an absolute pleasure to be with you today.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Well, Mark, tell us what happened next, because last time we interviewed you, you just launched your next version of your brand. You just rebranded yourself. You're now the global profile builder. You've gone through a whole process of brand evolution. Tell us what happened after that show.
Things have just really catapulted a lot, Sammy. So obviously I worked on all my branding, the way it was looking, my messaging, and that really has transferred into the way I'm carrying myself in my business, the way I'm speaking about myself to others. It really gave me a direction of who I was inside as well, and allowed me to be myself a little bit as well, coming back to the fun me. Also, I've been doing other things, Sammy. So even though I've done a lot last time, I've done a lot more, like branding with a live show, and really making everything just look that extra special, lighting, lots of things just to keep on improving, because we all know everything is an improving process, isn't it, Sammy?
It is. It is. But how have you done it? Let's get behind the process, because when there's so much to do, how do you break down all of the little bits? Now, I know that you use designers, you've used other people. Take us through that process. So for anybody that's watching now or listening in, thinking, whoa, hang on a minute, I need to do all that as well. Where do I start? Like, how did you do it?
Firstly, don't let procrastination hold you back. The way I make progress with whatever I'm doing, I just break it down into daily steps so that I make sure I'm working on it every day, but not overwhelming myself. Obviously, a lot of outsourcing. I'm not technical myself, so when it comes to anything design, things that look great, I just outsource those to freelancers on Fiverr. Also, I have lots of people that support me, like my VA will do lots of work as well. But it's just about taking those daily consistent actions and just working towards the end goal. And that is what I do in all aspects of my business, Sammy.
Fabulous. Well, I've been getting those onto the screen as you've been talking. So break it down into smaller steps and outsource to freelancers, for example, on Fiverr, or people per hour, or there's, the amount of talent that we're surrounded by. You just got to put it out there, haven't you? Like, I reached out to some people in our Brand Builders Club network and Trey Sean Bensami, and I said, Trey Sean, we're looking for a vibrant young person, somebody who's finished school. They've come out into this new version of normal. Who do you know that is looking for work, that already is familiar with social media, that loves the thrill and the bounce and the vibe of connecting with people? Who do you know that we could match up with? And so he's been able to introduce us to some really cool people. And there are people all around us that are actually looking for work, especially in the situation we are in a global crisis right now. Who do you already know that needs it, and you need the help, and we can match those things up together? So, Mark, as you've gone through this process, did you ever have any of that kind of feeling of, oh no, but I've got to let it go? Have you got any control issues that you've had to get over as you've been outsourcing?
I actually don't mind outsourcing. I think where I do struggle a little bit is taking the action initially to get started. So you build it up in your mind to be a little bit bigger than what it is. I remember you told me quite a while ago now, join StreamYard to do your lives. and I was using another platform. And we all get comfortable, don't we, Sammy? So I was quite comfortable because I'd already worked out how to do one platform. But then when I actually did do the research and watch a 12-minute video, what you put out for us all to watch, I was like, wow, this live stream system looks so easy. And I joined and I had it set up within minutes and sent everything off to the designers the same night. So I think it's taking the action and not procrastinating too much. So I would say getting those little slots every day to work on yourself, to do bits of training, which actually the last few weeks I've been plugging into more personal development. I watched that podcast that you recommended today, which was
oh my God, wasn't it incredible? So guys and girls, Mark's part of the Brand Builders Club, the legacy level of Brand Builders. Actually, I posted it in both legacy level and the light level of Brand Builders Club. And I was just, I'm committed every morning to 2 hours of just pure self-development. And that last hour is hour of Sammy power. That's me so that's your hour of Mark power, my hour of Sammy power. That's your hour of whatever your name is, power, fill in the gap. And that time, even though that video was an hour and a half, I just thought, I'm going to let that go over half an hour because it's worth the listening to it. It was an interview between Lewis Howes and Mel Robbins. And I mean, wasn't she just so amazing in her vulnerability and the sharing? I mean, unbelievable.
Yes, I actually normally half an hour to 60 minutes is plenty for me to sit and listen to something. I actually listened to the whole hour and half. I found her honesty with her own insecurities and really sharing that with others. To see that someone so successful is still got these battles with how she responds to things that trigger her, I found that really, really valuable. Also, her method of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to try that in the morning when I'm actually getting up, because I like a lying, Sammy. In the last few days, I've got up a little bit later, so I am actually going to use that method. And actually, Pete Cohen has taught me that method a few years ago, the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So to hear the source of where that has come from, I found it really, really valuable. It's a great podcast to go and watch.
Yeah, brilliant. Guys and girls, if you want to know what the link is, just send me a message on Facebook or email me, Sammy@howtobuildabrand, and I'll drop you the link so you can go and watch that. Like you said, Mark, my tolerance for one video is usually a maximum of 30 minutes, but I was so engaged with the conversation and the learnings and the things that she was sharing that I also made sure I watched the all of it. In fact, I listened to some of it as I was taking the dogs for a walk as well this morning. So Mark, where's your soft spot where it comes to business? Like, what is your confession, the thing that you don't talk about very much, but will make a massive difference to those people that are watching or listening now, to do the same thing that you and I did listening to that interview this morning and go, oh, holy frickadoodles, phew, it's not just me. Like, what's that confession from you?
So I started entrepreneurship 5 years ago. I had a dream. I didn't have any skills with public speaking. I didn't have any skills really with entrepreneurship on social media, and network marketing, like taught me a lot about that. But there are things what I think people should be aware of. Now, when I built my business, even when I did network marketing, Sammy, I recruited into 6 different countries. For me, I always knew I would be global. That would be a no-brainer. But there were so many entrepreneurs, people I looked up to that were quite, in my eyes at the time, high up, who were warning me, just focus local, don't go global, just focus local. And sometimes advice, what people give you, is it really good advice? Should you really be listening to that advice? Also, a big lesson that I have had to work on quite a lot, not caring what other people think about you. When you're trying to build a global business, you really do have to step up into that role. And when you are worrying what other people think about you, it really does hold you back from showing up as your full self. Now I do show up as my full self, but that has taken a lot of personal development. I'm still working on myself consistently, but not caring what people think. I would also say having a community, which I so thankfully have got with Brand Builders Club, because I think I should have had a community a lot quicker, but what you don't know, you don't know, and I didn't know that 5 years ago. So I was doing a lot of things by myself for a very, very long period of time. So having a support system, a community, having coaches, obviously you're a great coach. I have Pete Cohen. I'm forever online doing coaching. It's been a long journey. And another thing I would like to mention, I have got notes because I've got so much value to share today, Sammy.
Bring it on. How many of you want more value? Give us a hashtag value, please.
I think as well, coaches and mentors is really important. I didn't really have great sales skills and communication skills. These are things that you need to grow your business. Your business is not going to grow without you growing it yourself, and you have to take responsibility for that. I can hand on my heart say I have built my business from scratch by myself. No one is going to do it for you. And that means being responsible for your results, good and bad. And when something is not working, you have to find ways to make it work. Also, a big lesson here, even from when I very first started my business, there were big experts that I looked up to, who I saw well above me. And I will say some of them, I look now and I probably have overtaken them, but not everyone is, and I've said it so many times, not everyone is a nice person, and there are people out there that are toxic, and the world of business can be very dog eat dog. Now, I don't see that side very much now because I'm so focused on my end destination. I'm getting great results. I look at things now for inspiration, but there will be people that don't want to see you rise, and they will try to hold you back. They will bad name you, even if you are a good person with integrity. So that is why my values are so important to me. and I am so comfortable in my own skin because I do live by my values. So people can try and knock me down, but I will keep on getting back up stronger because I live by my values. So be very careful of people that you surround yourself with. Another quick one I wanted to mention, Sammy, when you are in business, some people, some coaches will get you on, they will get you results really, really quickly. So when I started entrepreneurship, I was thinking in 6 months, I'm going to be on 6-figure salary at my end destination. One, there's no such thing as your end destination, because when you have reached goals, there's always another level. But go in with a long-term plan. Don't think it's going to happen quickly, because for me, it's been a slow process. And I think sometimes it's misleading when people offer really, really fast, rapid results. In my experience,
well, how many of you have dealt with this, by the way, guys and girls that are listening in and tuning in right now? How many of you have had an experience that mirrors exactly what Mark's talking about? Because Mark, I think you know, there are big promises out there, and for somebody like yourself, you're building a movement, you're in it for the long haul, you've got so much integrity around your brand. Yes, you've built it slowly, but you've built it surely, you've built it certainly, and you've built it the right way. So the wind blows, you ain't falling over. A competitor comes along, you ain't getting pushed out of the way for that person, because the integrity of the relationships and the time that you've invested in that will pay you for a very, very long time. While others are falling down and being bought out and struggling, you're going to keep sailing through that. Actually, I want to come back to one of the points that you were talking about, the point before this one, where you were talking about some people are not going to like you rising. They're going to want to bring you down. And I want to come back to the post that you put out about the watch, because there was one person, maybe there was more, but there was one that I remember we had a discussion about, who had a negative frame to put on this amazing opportunity that had happened to you, and they made a judgment on you without knowing the full backstory. So can you just tell us a little bit about that story so that everybody's got the context behind it? Because I really want to have a conversation about value and not being able to be pulled down and not caring about what other people think of you. Take us back to this amazing gift that you received.
So obviously I'm now a brand ambassador for Craig Shelley Beverly Hills, where it's an opportunity where I am the product brand ambassador. So next year it's taking me to Las Vegas and Beverly Hills. I'm also speaking on platforms with amazing high profile celebrities and speakers. So part of the business partnership, obviously I now have a $15,000 watch. I also have a $500 watch for the brand ambassadorship. But this is a business partnership. We are supporting each other, and someone has watched me, and I'd like to say this person is a nice person, but they have watched me on video sharing I'm now brand ambassador. I've got an amazing $15,000 watch. And I received an inbox message saying, I'm really upset with the post of you sharing this watch. People are losing their jobs at the moment. I think it was really bad taste, etc., etc. And in my heart, I just felt I have worked really hard for 5 years.
Let's just take that into consideration, right? You haven't only just worked hard for 5 years, you were freaking dead. Mark was literally dead. No pulse, dead. And has literally, I would say, kind of dragged yourself back into life. and then got healthy and then carried on going. So this isn't just a woe me type story. This is a literally, you have worked for every molecule of your success, and you're now getting to the point where you are reaping the rewards of all of that hard work. And yet somebody's not seeing all of that hard work, no matter whether they're a nice person or not. They've not seen the journey. They're judging you based on what they're seeing now. How many of you have had experience of that, by the way? We've got some comments that are coming in. Lisa King says, congratulations, Chris. Awesome. NatWest are just starting a growth accelerator program. And there are amazing programs that are out there. Get that help. Lisa also says, yes, mentors not delivering even when people pay thousands. It's just so true, isn't it? And it's such a shame as well. So they haven't seen your journey. I remember a conversation that I had with a close family member about 5 years ago. And they said, well, it's all right for you because you've got all of this, blah, blah, blah. And I remember leaving the conversation and feeling very unsatisfied, thinking, wow, you're judging me on what you see now. But you have seen me go through all of that, and yet you've forgotten all of that. You're only focusing on, well, it's all right for you because.
Well, that is the worst thing, because this person actually has seen a lot of my journey.
Yeah.
So I just knew I have come from a place of the heart. I've worked really hard, and I'm very sensitive to what is going on in the world with the pandemic and people losing their jobs. But if you scroll through the whole of my social media, I have made a conscious effort to really be supporting people to get their businesses online, to be seen online. I never share negativity. I don't get involved in politics. Because I am in PR, I keep my social media positive. So for me, I would think that should be celebrated, that someone is really thriving through difficult times, helping others and inspiring others. So I didn't let it affect me, but at the same time, I don't like to disappoint people as well, Sammy.
It's a feeling though, isn't it? It just brings that energy down around the thing that you're doing. And I can see when you get people that are showing off like 100 grand Land Rovers and Porsches and Ferraris and look at me. That's a very different energy to, oh my God, like I've worked so hard for this, and this is just one of the rewards that's coming to me. And I was listening to a great podcast in my hour of Sammy Power over the I think it was last week, and there was a thing about money, and they were talking about how we can go into this money poverty consciousness when things like this are happening around us. And yes, people are, like, let's face the reality, people are losing their jobs, but there are more people starting new businesses and flourishing and becoming a phoenix now than in a long time. Innovation is at its height. Creativity is at its peak. So there are amazing things that are happening. And if she just looks at all the bad things that are happening, that's exactly what she's going to find. But what I loved about this podcast was this guy said, every time you spend some money, say, there's more where that came from. No matter how much it is, just like whether it's 2 pence, £2, £2,000, you just, as soon as you make that payment, you go, there's more where that came from. And you thank the universe for this money coming to you. And they said it's just such a different energy and a different way of thinking, that it just generates the kind of energy around you that attracts the kind of people that have that same energy. So that person who's a nice person, well, maybe they're not meant to be this next step of your journey.
I totally agree with what you're saying with the abundance mindset. It's really, really important to stay abundant and not go into scarcity. But at the same time, what people are going through this pandemic, I totally relate to it. Yeah. I have lost jobs. I have lost my home and sold it to get out of debt because I was struggling to survive.
Yeah.
If anyone understands misfortune, that's me. So that's why I would never be a person bragging. If I am ever sharing, it's to inspire, or
Right.
I'm really excited about the reality that I'm actually creating because I am working really hard to get those results.
And we don't want to go through those times on our own, do we? I think with social media, there's this part of social media where everybody loves a bit of misery, so they all get on with that. But then as soon as someone's really happy, like no one celebrates with you. What's
Yes.
that about? Or the people that you would expect to be celebrating with you don't show up, or they don't like your stuff. I mean, it's
Yes.
such a fickle thing, isn't it, this whole online thing? I'm going to get Lisa King's comment on the screen right now. Lisa says, you are such a genuine man and deserve your success. You have integrity and you are an inspiration. How does that
Thank
feel?
you, Lisa. Do you know, a while ago, I used to find it really hard when people were giving me compliments. But now I am quite comfortable in saying thank you because I know that I have worked so hard. I really believe in what I'm doing, but it does mean a lot to me because I like to know that people see me. That is important, that people do see the real me. So thank you, Lisa. It really means the world to me.
Brilliant. Well, let's talk about you. Now we're on this topic. Let's talk about you a bit more, seeing as you're all good with that now. So I want to know, what is the thing that has most surprised you about yourself over this last 3 months?
Over the last 3 months, wow, what has surprised me the most? The growth. I have really grown in a short period of time. It wasn't that many months ago I launched MSP News Global. It wasn't that long ago I launched the MSP agency. I launched 2 businesses at the start of the pandemic. They have thrived. I have surprised myself in the growth and how I've grown and improved as a person. It's really, really starting to sink in. You have created this. This is the reality you have created and worked hard for. It doesn't quite sink in that I can't at the moment, which is really gutting, but I could literally go anywhere in the world and still run my business. I have built flexibility. I have built great income. I've had 6-figure months. I can't believe the progress I have made, and that is because I have taken the action. But I have had to do a lot of work for it as well, stepping out of my comfort zone. I have had to plug into trainings. I have had to take advice from mentors and coaches. I have had to add extra tasks to my day to make sure that I am getting things done as well, Sammy.
How does that compare? And by the way, thank you, Chris. Chris says that he's left his day job to start a business. Congratulations, Chris.
Congratulations.
It's such a brilliant time. I'm so excited for you, especially you're going through a program that's really helping you to build your business. And, you know, just surrounding yourself with like-minded people as you go through the program is so incredibly important as you do that. So well done, my friend. And as Mark said earlier, I'm going to get this back on the screen. You are responsible for all your results, good and bad. So what you think about, you bring about. Mark, what would you say is something that people make an assumption about you incorrectly? What do they assume about you that you just want to put it out there right now? No, this is who I am actually when I'm being me.
I think sometimes people, and maybe this is going back a little bit, not so much now because I've got my own boundaries, what I stick to. But sometimes people think because I'm a nice person, they can take advantage of me, but they don't actually know how strong I am. Because just because I'm nice and I am a nice person, that doesn't mean I will let someone walk all over me. And I'm not scared to say what I think, and I'm not scared to stand for what I believe in. And sometimes people are shocked when they do think that they can take advantage of me for being nice, and that I am nice, but that doesn't mean you can take advantage of me, because I'm nice, but I'm also really, really strong.
Yeah, I think, how many of you resonate with that? I think there's something about when we are those purpose-driven change makers and you're on a mission to do great things because you do care about people. There is that element of people can take advantage sometimes. I love Ruth Driscoll, the Life Liberator. She's one of our other brand builders in the UK. Ruth calls it elegant assertiveness. And I love that terminology.
That's
you know, it's
it.
really being, you know, and Mel Robbins said it on the interview today as well. It's being able to be authentic and share with people what you actually want and need. And if something's not working, it's being able to voice it without it turning into passive aggression or, you know, something deeper or worse, or it can become quite wounding, can't it, if you don't face it. Mark, how is this so different to, like you talk about, it's hard work as an entrepreneur, you've put the hard yards in, you've been working hard, you've been doing the training, you've been doing the implementing and running the business and mopping the floor and doing the accounts and all the things that you do when you're running a business on your own. How different is this to what you were doing when you were hairdressing?
Well, I had a great career in hairdressing for over 20 years. I then had my own freelance hairdressing business. I was driving around to clients for hours a day just to get to them. I was working for a few hours just to make £80. I had lost passion. It was hard physical work, and people don't realise that about hairdressing. It's hard on the back. It's really physical. I remember some Christmases pulling up in my car in between clients, being so busy, trying to build my entrepreneurship business at the same time, thinking, I really don't want to be here. I don't want next Christmas to be like this.
Yeah.
And I had to carry on doing that feeling for 5 years. I retired from hairdressing in January. So comparing it to where I am now, Sammy, yes, I face rejection, but I'm getting big results. I'm making great income. I have a team of writers, graphics, VA, outsourcing freelancers. So even though I class it as hard work, it's my passion. So it's not like work. I love what I'm doing. It's not a job. This is my life. It's not a job. So I can really resonate with people building businesses alongside trying to become a successful entrepreneur. Absolutely. It can be at times very deflating and disappointing, but hang in there, because I hung in there, and fast forward to now, I have literally got flexibility and can go anywhere with my business. I'm working with top names within the industry that were my idols, so just bear with it. But comparing it to hairdressing, I'm living my dreams. Sammy, I really am.
I know. I think sometimes we can forget how far we've come, can't we? We can look at where we're at now and go, God, this is really hard. And then you look back. I mean, I live on a beautiful marina in the centre of England. So I'm in a little place between Lincoln and Nottingham, for those of you that don't know, have a clue where I am. So I live on a boat and we travel full time, and we've ended up here through COVID. And I was walking around the marina with the dogs the other day. And it was about, I don't know, 7 o'clock in the morning. And I saw all the people coming out of their boats, getting into their cars, warming their cars up, because it's starting to get a little bit chilly now. And you could see, you know, the plumes of so the heat, obviously, and the cold. And they're all dressed up and they've started wearing gloves. And I'm just pottering around the marina with the dogs. And I'm seeing them all like, and getting in their cars and off to go to work. And I just thought, shit. Like, I can't imagine that life anymore, and how lucky, and just feeling this massive sense of gratitude that, you know, what we've created is not luck, but what we have created is something that's just a different kind of challenging. It's not without its challenges, but it's a different kind of challenging. And when you see other people that are going to work, I remember thinking when I had a job that wealth to me was being able to walk my dogs at like 2 o'clock in an afternoon when everybody else was at work, just to have the time to go and walk the dogs. That to me was wealth. Like, my wealth has never really been about money. It's always been about experience and how I feel. How do you feel about wealth, Mark?
You said that beautifully, Sammy. For me, like you say, the fact that I can get up when I want, I don't have to go out and do physical work like when I was in hairdressing. I'm doing what I love. In itself, that is wealth. Also, being accepting that I am worthy for big amounts of money. I haven't got blocks towards money, that it's not about money. For me, I love money, and the more and more keep it coming, because I know the more money I have, the more good I will do, and it will allow me to do more good. So for me, wealth is a combination of health, really, really important, wealth, which is the money side of everything, and lifestyle.
Yeah, totally agree. Guys and girls tuning in now, what do you think? What is your version of wealth? What does wealth mean to you? Mark, if you could change anything about the world of business, what would you change?
I would change toxic people in business, which I know that probably won't happen just by myself, Sammy.
Well, we can be the guiding lights.
We can be the guiding lights, but making sure that I'm not affected by them. But for me, if I had a magic wand, I would stop toxic people in business, because for me, a world of collaboration and cooperation, everyone does thrive. And you mentioned competitors earlier. I don't see competitors, because for me, I will think, well, I want to collaborate with them. Why can't I collaborate with competitors? Together we will be stronger, and I do that consistently. There's people in media and PR, and there are certain people who may think, oh, I'm not that, they're doing media and PR, I can't work with them. Whereas I will be, what do you offer? What do I offer? Can I offer this to my clients? I'm all about collaboration. So more collaboration and less toxic people is what I would change.
Boom. That's the whole one drop movement philosophy. Love it. And let's see what comments coming in. Chris, my wealth will have to be more quality time with my beautiful wife. Oh,
beautiful.
Love that. It's just... when you're building somebody else's dream in a job, which is usually just over broke, that's when you're coming home every night. You haven't got that sense of fulfillment that you have when you are working for yourself, and when you do win that piece of work, or you get that lovely comment that comes in that says, you made a real difference to me today. It's just those little things that you can't really get when you're working for someone else, and you can really absorb them and take it in. And I think it's so important that we do absorb those moments and take them in, because business isn't always sunshine and roses. So Mark, as we start to wrap up this interview, I'm going to ask you a question that I absolutely love. It was asked to me. I can't remember even when it was. I remember it was Gail Dixon asked me this question, and I'm going to ask you this question because it was such a good question. Mark, what do you know for sure?
What do I know for sure? I know for sure that we have mentioned toxic people, but what I do know for sure, there is a lot of good people in this world. The world is full of love. The world is full of abundance. And I know for sure that whatever doubts people may have, whatever insecurities, deep down inside of them, there is brilliance. And I know for sure that whatever reality within reason people would like to achieve, they can achieve it, because I am achieving my realities and I know the struggles I have been through. But I would say for sure, let's focus on the good. Let's be the positive. Let's come from a place of love, because there is a lot of good even in the world we're living in right now.
I agree. Couldn't agree more. Mark, thank you so much for being so freaking awesome today, as always. And we're going to keep following your journey. Now, Mark, if you haven't followed Mark before, if you go to Brand Builders, hang on a minute. No, if you go to facebook.com/Brand Builders TV, you'll find Mark's shows. Mark has delivered several Brand Builders TV shows now. You can also find them on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/Brand Builders TV. Do come along, subscribe to the channel, and experts from the Brand Builders Club are bringing their expertise direct straight to you so that you can avoid some of the big mistakes that we've made. I mean, there are things that we have to go through in business, so we learn, but there are some things you don't have to go through in life and business and health and wellness, and we cover all of those topics in Brand Builders Club. And so yeah, get across and subscribe. Mark, thank you so much. Mark, are you joining us at the Thinkubator next week?
I am definitely going to be coming this week. I had it in my diary this week to attend, and I had really bad stomach ache the night before and on the day, but I am there this Tuesday. Yay! And also, you mentioned Brand Builders TV. I have a new episode on Brand Builders TV this week, and the topic is amazing. It's all about how good PR can cancel out negative PR, because negative PR, look at Ellen DeGeneres, look at the royals like Meghan Markle. Positive PR can cancel out negative PR. So that's coming up on Brand Builders TV this week as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's 6 p.m. next Thursday, is it?
I think so.
So watch out for that on the Brand Builders TV Facebook page, or you'll be able to check it out on YouTube. And if you want to come and join Mark and I at our next Thinkubator, it's a Brand Builders Thinkubator. It's an hour of power where we mastermind. So Chris, if you want to come along and join us, there's the link on the screen, and go through the programs that you're doing outside of that, but come and join us in Brand Builders so that we can get you absolutely on that right track. And if you're going off piste a little bit, we can pull it right back and support you and hold your hand as you build your brand. So come along and join Mark and I. If you click on that link, you'll be able to find out when all the next events are that are coming up, and you can book onto any of those. Mark, thank you so much for being a superstar. We'll look forward to seeing you over on Brand Builders TV next week. And thank you for tuning in. For those of you, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I'm sending you big, big love. And we will see you for another couple of episodes of The Confession Show. Same time next week. Take care. Mwah. See you there.